Guys, welcome back to the channel. Firstly, apologies for the delay in getting this episode out to you. It's been a couple of busy weeks here, but I'm hoping that in the coming weeks I'll be able to get a more regular upload schedule for you. Something that I will be releasing in due course. But on a positive note, over the last week or so, we have almost got to that 125 subscriber target. We are now only one away. So if you are new to this or you're not yet subscribed, then please do hit that subscribe button down below. If we can get to 125 by the next video, that would be awesome. But in the meantime, let's get stuck into today and our first taste of Champions League football this season. Run the intro. Welcome to episode 42 of the Roma Revolution. I'm Ben, and coming up on today's episode we begin our Champions League campaign against Ajax, and that is followed by a huge Serie A game against Juventus. Now, since the last episode we have only played the one game. That was against Inter Milan, and we continued our unbeaten start to the season. A Caio Jorge goal on the 37th minute secured us a 1-0 victory over Inter Milan. It's 3 from 3. We're second in the league. Lazio also going 3 from 3. So a big game against Juventus to hopefully continue that unbeaten record coming later on in the episode. But first, our attention is on the Champions League, and the team that we're looking to take to Ajax is this one. We got Dragowski in goal, a back four of Miranda, Upamecano, Basia and Dest. Camavinga, Tonali and Riccardi are in the midfield, with Thiago Almada in behind both Pedro and Caio Jorge up front. We are still missing the likes of Pellegrini in the midfield. Paredes is on the bench. Mariba is also on the bench, who's just filled in for a couple games whilst we've not had Pellegrini. So big names still missing, but Ajax, a team we should be beating despite their prowess, or historical prowess I suppose is the best way to put it, in the Champions League. Obviously a really good side, reaching the semi-finals in real life only last year, and it'll be interesting to see if there are many of those players still knocking about in this Ajax team. I imagine, like typical Ajax, a lot of them will have been moved on, but it'll be interesting to see if they have kept any of the superstars that they had there before. The Inter game was an interesting one. Just going back to that one, we were really quite even, and it was a really close game. We only actually saw the one highlight on the episode, on the game. It was actually just the goal from George that we saw. So it was a really tight game. Not many chances coming either way, but it was really important for us to grab that goal, and a goal that obviously has well secured a really good start to the Serie A season. Something we can hopefully convert across once we get there, looking at the slowness of the machine, to the Champions League. But as I mentioned, having a look then at some players that they may have had in that original team last year. Van der Beek is still there, obviously Quincy Plomes as well on the left, looking to the bench. Not many. Bergwijn is still there, obviously he's now, or he's gone back there rather, having gone to Tottenham earlier on. He was obviously at PSV beforehand. Daley Blind. So they have still got some of the players that we saw last year in real life go on for that really good Champions League run, but I'm hoping that we should well have the better of them. And I'm just going to say to the boys that I expect nothing but a win from this match. We have, as always, got the faith in the boys, and as we approach kick-off time, can we do it? There's no assistant going to the tunnel today because there's no interview, and we are into the Champions League, a competition that we are obviously have a little bit of history with on the series, winning it a couple of years ago. It is our final season as Roma manager, so we're looking to do the double, this one and Serie A. We've been offered a group that would allow us hopefully to do just that and get a really good start in the competition. But these are the sorts of games we need to be winning. I think the Ajax and Mönchengladbach games are the two biggest. Shakhtar, I think we should easily be able to brush aside. But Ajax and Mönchengladbach, both really good teams. And keeping an eye on the Bundesliga results, Mönchengladbach have actually just also beaten Bayern Munich. So they are looking like they might really be a good test for us in this group. But this game, 20 minutes, similar to the last one really, not much coming from the game or any highlights at all. It looks like we've had the better of the ball when we've used it. 4 shots, 2 of which have been on target. But perhaps Ajax are just shutting the door on us. But here is a highlight for them. Plomes with the ball in. Daley Blind at the front post has headed in for Ajax against the run of play, it would seem. And I was saying that we should well be able to cruise through this group, but there's been an early setback. Quincy Plomes with the ball in. It's fallen to Blind at the front post, who's headed past Rudakowski with ease. And we're now going to be demanding some more, because it should not be a result like this. But it looks like we're going to immediately respond potentially. Dest on the right to Pedro. He beats his man. Dest, obviously the man who was at Ajax before. Pedro with the shot. It's really well blocked. But that is the first effort we've seen from us. Dest against his old team, giving them some trouble on that right-hand side. But Pedro couldn't quite put the finish away. And a game where we've had 7 shots, 4 of which have been on target and a 1-0 down. But Pedro, he should have headed in. That should well have been the goal to equalise proceedings here. We're not quite firing into the net. 3 shots for Ajax, the 1 on target that obviously we saw from Daley Blind. 9 for us, 5 on target. Ratzi in their goal, having an absolute stormer of a game. And we really need to grab this equaliser before half-time, and we're going to see if some creativity will allow us to do it. 12 shots, 7 on target. They're obviously not that meaningful a chance as we haven't seen them, but it looks like we're going to have to get aggressive at half-time with the boys, because at the break, it looks like it's going to be Ajax 1, Roma 0, a completely dominant first half. Are we about to get FM'd in our first Champions League game of the season? Let's hope not. As I say, we're going to get aggressive. We don't look like a team that wants to win. And we're going to go back out for the second half. And a highlight straight away. Upamecano at the back. Plays it to Tonali, who finds Almada. He's looking for George on the left, who slots it back to Miranda. Miranda, can he beat his man and get across? And he's found Tonali. He's found Pedro. He headed over in the first half from a really easy chance. Not this time. It's a Pedro goal, and we've equalised right after half-time. George does really well. He finds Miranda just behind him, who plays it again back to Tonali. Tonali with the cross. Pedro with the header. And it is now Roma 1, Ajax 1, and we have a second half to now go and grab a winner. A really important goal, one to potentially just settle the nerves after the half-time team talk. We obviously got into them a little bit there, and it seems like it may well have worked. A game in which we have been really quite dominant with the shots, and it should well be a case of us hopefully continuing that and putting another goal past Ratzi in the Ajax goal. But since that chance, we've not seen much else of the game, and the likes of Almada and George are struggling. So with half an hour or so to go, we are going to take both of those off. Dario can come on for Almada. We'll see if he can prove to be the difference. And Patrick Schick on for Kaio George up front. Can we now go and grab the winning goal in this game? There's a chance for us to build from the back. Basia, he finds Riccardi, who finds Camavinga, who has got Miranda in loads of space on the left-hand side, and he has found Miranda. Can Miranda beat Blind? He has eventually. Is Miranda going to shoot? He is, and it has gone just over the bar. A really good effort from Miranda. Maybe had better options inside him, but he's got forward into a position that we've seen him in so many times before, but this time he couldn't quite find the back of the net. And it looks like we have got a free kick in a really promising position. And Dario is going to take it. Dario shoots. Dario scores! What a substitution. Dario comes on for Thiago Almada. He steps up to take the free kick. And he has buried it into the top corner. What a first goal for Roma for Dario. A really well taken finish. And that might well be the goal that could secure us the victory. It was looking tight at half-time, but we've come out all guns blazing in the second half. Riccardi, he looks for Schick in the middle. We can't quite find him, but it is back on the edge of the area. Dest to Riccardi. Dest again, who's played really well on this right. Patrick Schick has hit the post. Oh, that could have been the winning goal. That could have been the one that just secured it. Patrick Schick has looked good since coming on as well. Obviously, he came on for Kaio George. The two subs have played well, but there is a chance for Ajax. Plomes again on the right. He slots it to the back post. And I think it was Koch back there who had the header. It's well saved by Dragowski. And it's Promes again. Can we defend the corner? It's Basir in the middle. It's fallen to Cook again. He's looking really dangerous and finding himself in good positions in the corners. Peary, well tackled by Dest. And that is highlight over. We are just going to make one final change. Probably in the middle of the park. Both Tonali and Riccardi struggling for fitness. Tonali having a really good game. So we'll get Riccardi off. And we'll get Mariba on for him in the middle. And fingers crossed that can prove to be the ticket that just sees us through to the end of the game, keeping the 1 goal cushion or potentially even extending it if we can. Dest has had a really good game against his old team. He's been firing up and down that right hand side really well. Tonali's looked good in the middle. Dalio has looked awesome since he's come on. So hopefully he can continue this form and he might well be squeezing out Almada at the moment. Pedro puts the ball in. Patrick Schick, who's now had a couple of chances to put the game to bed. He's not quite been able to take them. He's looked lively, but lively's not good enough when you can't find the back of the net. We really should have scored more than 2. 23 shots, 11 of which have been on target. How it's only 2-1, I have no idea. But as long as it stays 2-1 for the 4 minutes of added time that we've got, then it should well be victory in the bag. Dest finds Pedro, who's got a pass, otherwise he's going to lose it. He's beaten Blind. He's done really well there, actually. He finds Dest. Dest surging across. Schick this time. He's had 2 cracks of the cherry already. Third time lucky for Patrick Schick. He's put it away. And it's Roma 3, Ajax 1. And that now is surely game, set and match with the time that's remaining. Dest with the assist that he has deserved. Schick finally gets his header on target. And it beats the goalie. And it could well be another chance towards the end of the game. Juan Miranda with the throw. It's beaten to it. But Camavinga does well in the middle. Dario finds Schick. Is he going to get 2? He might well just be offside. It's a really well taken finish. A lovely spot again from Dario as well. But unfortunately he is just offside. And the game is probably now about to come to a close. It would have been nice to get the 4th at the end. But a really solid second half performance from us has meant that it has finished Roma 3, Ajax 1. We looked nervy at half time after the Daily Blind header into the top corner, but Pedro, Dalio and Schick secured the victory for us, and let's hope we can carry that form onto Juventus, which I will see you for in a second. Of the Juventus game, but I thought I would at least show you the goals from the game. It ended in victory. We made one change from the Ajax game. Dalio getting his first start in a Roma shirt, as he brushed Juventus aside with a really good player of the match performance, so he certainly justified the start. But as you will see in due course, it was a really, really well fought game. One that, as you see, we did end up winning 2-1, so we've kept that 4 wins from 4 going in Serie A. But they got a really early goal, a breakaway. Kante chucked it out to Diego Jota, and Chukwueze went one-on-one with Dragowski, who really had nothing he could do with that one. We then looked like we were going to lose it again on the edge of the area, but instead Camavinga picked out Tonali. This was about 3 minutes after the first goal, and he slotted it home really nicely. And then midway through the second half, Chesney came for a ball that just wasn't there to be punched, and Dalio slotted home. We then held on for the rest of the game. As you'll be able to see from the match stats, we didn't quite dominate possession. It was about 5 shots each at half time, I think it was. And then we went on to completely and utterly dominate that second half and grab a deserved victory. So, we're 4 from 4 now in Serie A. Unfortunately, you couldn't see the whole Juventus game, and apologies for that. But I will be back, and we will be back for Shakhtar and Napoli as the next episode. And hopefully that will go much more plain sailing than the Juventus game. But I hope you have enjoyed today's episode, and if you have, please leave a like down below for me. Subscribe to the channel if you're new or not yet subscribed for more Football Manager content, and thank you all for coming along and watching.